Blessings, guys. It's been a minute. Today I'm going to be making beef patties, Jamaican beef patties, vegan version my way. Okay, so we're going to start off really quick because I have some cold butter out and I don't want it to melt. As always, all the ingredients and the steps will be in the description box. Okay, so we're going to start off really fast with one of my favorite flours that I use, the unbleached. And no, it's not sponsored, King Arthur flour. We're going to start off with 4 cups of flour. You don't want to pat it down. Just shake it off, even it out. I'm going to use 4 of these. 2, 3. And we're going to start off with the dough because the dough has to stay in the refrigerator for 1 hour. So that's the 4 cups there. Now we're going to add in 1 tablespoon of salt. Any salt of your liking. I'm just using this salt that I have. And we're going to be using 3 teaspoons of turmeric. 1, 2. And this helps out with the coloring. 3. And to the dough, we're also going to add 2 tablespoons of sugar. Could be your regular granulated sugar. If you have organic sugar, coconut sugar, sugar of your preference, 2 tablespoons. And what we're going to do is you're going to give it a quick mix just to make sure everything is incorporated. And for this, we're going to get the butter ready. So the butter that we're going to add right into this flour mix, it's going to be cubed. So we're going to cube it. Okay, this is good. Put this to the side. So I have 6 tablespoons of butter that I'm going to cube. And you want to make sure that you thoroughly wash your hands because we're going to add this in. My hands are completely washed. Washed it behind the scenes before I started. You want to make sure your butter is cold. And you want to cube it. And once you cube it, you're going to start adding it in. Right? If you're not comfortable doing it with your hands, you're more than welcome to use a glove. Put this in here. The remainder of the butter. Put this in here. Now, what you want to do, if you can see, now what we're going to do is we're going to try to incorporate the butter in, but you want to, it's kind of like when you're doing pie dough and panada dough, you want to make sure that you crumble it in as much as possible. And right now, as I'm doing this, I'm going to remove my flour from here because I don't want it to get wet. This is my sink. And also, I'm going to let the water run. If you don't want to use tap water, you can definitely use bottled water. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep crumbling, let the water run because we're going to use up to 1 cup. We're not going to use the whole cup unless it's needed. We're going to check the consistency of the dough. And if we need it, then we'll add it in, right? So you just want to continue crumbling it up, making sure you crumble that butter into the flour. And you're just going to continue to do this. You don't want to see any big chunks of butter at all. So when you see that all the butter is crumbed, then we can start adding the water. You want to make sure you grab from the bottom. Make sure you grab the flour from the bottom. Try to make sure you handle all of the flour. Try to get as much butter throughout it as you can. Yay! So as you can see, there's still some clumps. That's a clump butter. So I'm going to continue until it gets a little bit more incorporated, more crumb into the flour. And you can definitely do this process in a mixer, and a hand mixer, but I wanted to do it by hand for people who don't have mixers at home. It's a fairly easy process. So doesn't take too long, doesn't take too much work to do. Just a lot of love. Okay. Now that it is fairly incorporated, I'm going to start adding the water. I have my cup measure here. I'm going to fill it. Again, you don't have to use tap water. You can use bottled cold water. So I'm going to start incorporating by adding half a cup at a time. I'm going to add that half, and I'm going to start mixing. And as you mix, you start seeing some of the color come out, which is beautiful. And again, you want to make sure you get to the bottom as well. Don't just pay attention to the top. Make sure you get the flour at the bottom. I'm going to add the remainder of the cup. And if you don't like the mushy feel, wear gloves. Definitely wear gloves. I'm going to keep incorporating this, and I'll be right back. Okay, so the dough, I actually added a third cup of more water. So the dough is really, really dry. It does depend on the flour you use. I noticed that when I use this different flours. So this is the consistency of the dough that I have. Right now, I don't want to overwork the dough. So I'm going to wash my hands real quick, and I'm going to put it in some saran wrap and put it in the refrigerator. And as you wash your hands right after this process, you want to make sure that you wash your hands with as cold as possible, because we're going to be shredding some butter, and you don't want your hands to be ice cold. Right? You want your hands to be ice cold. So now, clean this off as well. Okay. So now I'm going to take my saran wrap. And dump it. Okay. And just cover it. And this is going to be in the fridge for 1 hour. So set your timer. Okay, so for this next step, I have a grater. I froze the butter, and I have a glove. The reason why I have a glove is because as you're grating it, the temperature of your hand, you don't want to melt the butter. So if you have the other kind of grater, that bigger one, I prefer this one. And just grate your butter. We're going to be grating 12 tablespoons of butter you want to grate. And this is going to help because we're going to add this to the dough to laminate it. And laminating is making layers so then the dough can be flaky. So that's definitely what's going to happen. As you can see. And this is, I guess this is, for me, this is the best way to use a glove for this, because you can just keep going and going and going, not worry about melting the butter as you're shredding it. So till you get to the very last bit. That was 8 tablespoons, and then I have the rest right here to the side. And again, you want to freeze your stick of butter. You can use butter of your choice. I'm using vegan butter. The higher fat you have on your butter, the better layers. Mine is vegan, so it's going to be some. It's not going to be as much as regular, right? Okay, guys, so I'm done shredding. And this goes back in the freezer. Okay, guys? But look how beautiful. It holds its shape. So I'm going to put this back in the freezer, okay? So right now I'm going to prep the rest of the ingredients. I'm going to be cooking it because we have time. We have an hour. So the meat also has to cool off before we assemble the patty. So right now I'm going to start with the scallions. Again, guys, all the ingredients will be listed in the description below of the video. So I'm going to be using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to be using 6 pieces of the scallion. I'll put them together and chop. I'm giving it a rough chop. As you can see, just a rough chop. Next, I'm going to be doing the Scotch Bonnet. And for that, I'm actually going to put my gloves on because I don't want to forget that I was handling the pepper and touch anything. And guys, this is mainly all you're going to chop. A lot of the ingredients I have, some are dried, but you can use fresh or dried. It's totally up to you, your preference. I have these 2 beauties. Psych. Hey. So you can deseed them if you want to. I'm not going to deseed them because I like a high level of spice. So I'm going to use the seeds as well. Maybe I'll take some seeds out. I'll take about this much out. I'm sorry, my bowl is in the way. Just doing a rough chop. If you want to reduce time, you could definitely put this in your food processor and just let it all blend, chop up together. That takes a little bit out too. And if you cannot find a Scotch bonnet, you can definitely sub it for a habanero. It's almost the same level of spice. And again, if you can tolerate it, then you leave the seeds in. If you want that extra spice. You know how when you go buy beef patties, they say mild, extra spicy. Yeah, so definitely, I can smell the spice already. These are definitely hot, which is good because that means that they're fresh. If you get a pepper that it's not spicy, then it's not a fresh pepper. This red one, ciao. And this goes when you're handling any high spice pepper. It's good to wear gloves, just to make sure you don't contaminate anything as well. So I'm going to use 1.5 because I'm going to save this for something else I have a recipe for. And this is the rough chop that I did. So I'm going to add this in here in my bowl. the sink and discard my gloves. So now I am going to give you a different view because I'm going to start cooking. I have all my ingredients, and as I'm using the ingredients, I'm going to show you. And this is the protein that I'm going to use. You can use whichever protein of your choice. At this stage, you can also use regular ground beef, ground pork, ground chicken, and to make it a regular patty because it's almost all the same ingredients. Okay, so I'm going to turn the camera around so we could get this meat cooking. So I'm going to add my oil. So this I'm going to be adding 2 spoons of my sofrito. Yes, I have to add my sofrito. Also to this I'm going to add the peppers. To this I'm going to be adding 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. Half a teaspoon salt. 1.5 teaspoon allspice. 2 teaspoons ginger. 1 tablespoon of thyme. 2 teaspoons garlic powder. Now I'm gonna stir that. And this is on a low flame. I'm going to be adding my vegan meat. This is frozen, so just gonna let that, I'm gonna stir everything together. And as that's cooking down, I'm gonna put the heat to medium. And I was gonna use breadcrumbs to make the panade. The panade is what is used to thicken. I'm just going to use 2 slices of white bread, but what you want to do is you want to take the crust out. You definitely want to take the crust out of this and discard or use for something else. And just break into little tiny pieces. This is just going to help. You can definitely do this again in your food processor as well. This is going to help as a thickening agent. You know how sometimes you see the meat and you wonder why the texture is that way of the inside of a patty? It's because of the panade. And this is what people use for meatloaf and things like that, meatballs. Same method. So that's one. Let me use the other one. I'm gonna just break it apart coarsely. It'll break down as it gets wet and it'll help thicken the meat. I'm going to be using 2 teaspoons of soy sauce. And 2 tablespoons of browning. And I'm also going to incorporate 1 cup of water. I'm going to stir. I want everything to be fully incorporated. This smells amazing, guys. Now you want to let that simmer and cook down for a little bit. As that's cooking down, you just want to make sure to continue to stir a bit. You want the liquid to reduce, but you want to make sure that your meat is cooked. The meat that I got actually cooks in 5 minutes, but I like to leave it a little longer. So I'm gonna just leave it a little longer so all the spices can be tasted through all this protein. Okay guys, now that the meat is done, completely done, you want to put it in a bowl so it can cool. Wow, this smells so amazing. It smells so good. And this is what the meat looks like. Oh, it smells amazing. So I'm going to put this to the side so it can cool. Right now, I'm just waiting for the timer to go off so I can go ahead and laminate the dough. Okay, so it's perfect timing because this meat just came out and it's really hot. So just let it cool down to room temperature and wait for your timer. All right, I'll be back. Okay, guys, it's been an hour. So I took the dough out the refrigerator and I'm going to begin some laminating. You want to take some flour and lightly dust your surface. I also have my rolling pin that I want to dust. And I have the frozen butter. My hands are washed. So what you want to do is first unroll. Discard this. I'm not going to use that again. Want to make sure there's enough flour because of the content of butter. And I'm just going to roll this into a rectangle. Just a rectangle, nothing too crazy. I'm going to lift this up and make sure I have enough dough, enough flour on beneath. I'm going to move this. And just a rectangle. Make sure as much as you can. Okay, this is good. Okay guys, so let me show you the size. Make sure you have enough flour underneath. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a 3-fold. So I'm going to, let me show you this way. I'm going to get dirty. I'm going to add butter to one side, fold it in, add butter, and fold the other side in. Okay, it's a messy process. I just wanted to show you because I don't have another angle. So I'm going to take some of the butter that's frozen, just some of it, and put it here. Still frozen. And fold to book fold, fold. Then take some more butter, add it to, then you want to fold again, book fold. Now I'm going to, as you can see, book fold. Now I'm going to turn this way and I'm going to roll out. I'm going to roll this out into another rectangle. And this process is going to be done 4 times. Okay, guys? 4 times, because to get some good layers in here. And again, if you feel that you need more flour for your surface, lightly dust it. Okay. Okay, I'm going to change the camera view so you can see a little better. So now, just add butter here. That was the first fold. Now add butter again. I'm gonna fold again, a book fold. The book fold is in 3. So as you have your dough straight, it's 1 and 2. That's a book fold. So you wanna flip it, turn it around again. Make sure you have enough floured surface. And again, roll it out. Apply pressure, guys. Apply pressure. You want a good lamination. At any time you see you need more flour, just add it, because this is a very buttery dough. So now I'm ready to add more butter, which this is the 3rd turn, right? This will be the 3rd turn. I want to be able to complete at least 4 good turns. This is the 3rd one. I want to make sure all the butter is going to be distributed good. This is the first fold. Add more butter. If the butter falls on your surface, just put it right on your dough. And this is the last fold. Now, turn again. And again, if you need flour, I'm just going to put a little bit more flour on my rolling pin and roll out. I'm rolling into a rectangle. Each time is a rectangle. Make sure you have enough flour on your surface and on your rolling pin. Mine got a little sticky. Okay, I'm about to do my last turn. I want to make sure it gets incorporated in well. Okay, I'm going to do just a little bit more on this end here. Okay, so this is going to be the last turn. So I'm going to use the remainder of the butter. I want to make sure there's enough between layers. This is quarter turn. And this is the remainder of the butter. So this is the last turn, guys. Now I'm going to add a little bit, lift this up, add a little bit more flour on the surface and on the rolling pin, because now this has a good amount of butter. This is going to be a nice dough, very nice dough. And now I'm gonna do the last turn. Because now the butter is starting to melt as it's out. So, see, it's starting to melt. So, right now, just gonna put the additional flour on it. I'm gonna clean some of this off. Rinse my hands, because now I'm going to wrap it to refrigerate. Now I'm just gonna wrap it and refrigerate for 1 hour. So now this is gonna refrigerate for 1 hour. And after the hour is done, we're gonna roll out and assemble the patties. Okay, so I removed it. It's been 1 hour. So now we're gonna start assembling. Before you start, definitely line a pan with parchment, which I already went ahead and do. Because as you assemble, you wanna make sure you have somewhere to put them. You wanna keep this book fold, and I'm gonna be using a pizza cutter to cut along the sides. Just gonna unwrap a little. I'm just gonna cut a strip. Oh my gosh, look at these layers. That's insane. So I'm gonna put this in the fridge as I work with this, because I don't want the butter to melt. Guys, you already know, dust your surface generously, and your rolling pin. Rolling. Oh my gosh, this looks so beautiful. As you can see, I got a little stuck. So I'm gonna try to make a rectangle. Try to shape it into a rectangle. So I'm gonna keep those beautiful layers. Wow, this looks gorgeous. This looks amazing. I'm gonna use a little bit more flour. I'm so excited for this. And I'm gonna be using a 1/3 cup measure to fill. So, almost done. Okay, a little more flour on the rolling pin. Okay, guys. So I'm gonna fill 1/3. Just put it on. And this is completely cooled. This is completely cooled. So I'm just gonna put that over. And you definitely want to cut. And I'm gonna be using this right here to fork it. This is a thick dough. If you want thinner, you can definitely roll it out thinner. How beautiful. I'm gonna put this here. I don't know how many of these I'm gonna do today, but I'm gonna go for maybe another 2. Oh, look at that. I think it's gonna be huge. So I'm gonna go to the fridge and grab the other. And again, these videos are amazing. Just gonna cut with the pizza roller, the cutter. I'm just gonna cut this much and put the remainder in the refrigerator. And same as before, dust the surface, generous amount, and also dust the rolling pin. I'm gonna try to make this one thinner than the other one. You definitely wanna make sure you have enough flour on the surface. More flour. This is beautiful. I'm gonna roll it out one more time before filling it. Definitely have to apply pressure. Ooh. Now, the 1/3 of the mixture. Then you want to roll and cut. I'm not cutting any excess because I don't want to waste. I don't want nothing going to waste. So, and again, fork the ends. Look at that patty. Look at that patty. So this, I'm gonna put them in the fridge for 10 minutes and I'm gonna preheat the oven 350 right now and I'll be back. I'm gonna clean this up too because it's like messy. Okay guys, so it's been 15 minutes. I have some oat milk that I'm just gonna brush over the top for browning. And I already set the oven to 350 and this is gonna cook from 15 to 20 minutes. I'll probably give it the whole 20 minutes because I want a nice crust on top. Yay! The oven is set to 350. I'm gonna let it cook 15 to 20 minutes. At the 15-minute mark, I'm gonna check them, and if they need more, I want them to be like a nice golden color, I'll let them go a little bit more. I'm gonna place the patties here so they can cool. I will not be eating or tasting yet. Look how beautiful. Oh, this is hot. this is hot. They look so beautiful. But they're hot. They are hot. Look how beautiful. These are piping, and they're hefty. Look at that. And flaky. You see that? Okay. I'm gonna put this one here like this. So I'm gonna let them cool for about 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna come back to taste. Okay, so I got a knife because I'm gonna have to cut it because they're too big. So I just don't know which one I'm gonna cut. Probably one of the smaller ones. One of these. Look at this. You see those layers? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna cut this in half. You hear that? Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Guys, look at this. Oh my gosh. Oh, guys. I'm so happy with this turnout. Let me, I gotta take some pictures. I gotta take some pictures of this. Let me take some pictures. Okay guys, so I took some pictures already, but can you see, can you appreciate the bottom? Oh my gosh, and look at all these layers. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to taste. This could have went a little longer. So these I'm gonna save. I actually have more filling and more dough, but I'm gonna finish it tomorrow. If you have the time and people in your house, because it's only me here. So if you have, definitely cook it through. You know, you can also make them and freeze them, put them in freezer Ziploc bags. I am going to be tasting this. Thank you, Jesus, for this food. It's so good. And I should have added the other half because it's like I could tolerate a lot of heat. So if you can't tolerate a lot of heat, 1.5 Scotch Bonnet is good. But if you can tolerate heat, and it's like mild for me because I could tolerate a lot of heat. But this is absolutely delicious. Absolutely delicious. Look at this. You hear that? You see that? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So I definitely have to tell you what inspired me to make this. I made a visit to Connecticut, which I travel because I have family over there. And I visited this vegan, it's like a fruit juice place. I forgot the name of it. I'll definitely add it in the description. And they had vegan beef patties, and I fell so much in love. Look at the flakes. Look at the flakes. I fell so much in love that I got inspired to make my own beef patty, my own vegan. And I just want to let you know, right? The exact steps, the only step that is different here is the protein choice, right? Everything else you can make the same way and make it into a regular beef patty. Same flavoring, everything. The only thing is the protein and the butter, if you want to change the butter. But oh my gosh, I'm gonna try this again. You want that? Wow. Delicious. Do you hear that? Do you see those layers? Come on, dude. Look at that. Oh my gosh. So good. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. So guys, thank you for joining me. If you decide to make this, whether you make it vegan or non-vegan, definitely tag me. Don't forget to tag me in your post. And come back in the comments and let me know how it went. You know, if you tried a different butter, a different protein choice, definitely come back and let me know. Okay, guys? Okay, God bless you. And thank you for joining me. And definitely check out some more of the videos that I have. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And stay blessed, guys. God bless you.